Previously talked about the issue of party system and all that.
Yes.
Of course, there's the not too young to run bill and all that, which is in place. So there's a legal framework for young people to come in. But I still find out that there's a barrier for young people to come into political space from their parties. Example, when you talk about form, you want to buy form, the amount for form is quite exorbitant. So even despite the legal framework supporting your participation, financial constraint, political patronage systems, and the dominance of established political figures pose significant barriers to young people seeking elected office. I want you to just talk to this.
Look, we are talking about power. It's the president that once said that power is never served a la carte. Those in power don't want to leave it. All right. So policy legislation is only the first level. You're still going to fight cultural battle where people say, "Go and sit down. It's not yet your turn."
Wow.
What do you mean? You know how long we've been waiting? Go and sit down. So you face cultural, you face economic, like you said, intentionally, because those in the offices are the ones setting the rules. They set higher fees because they believe young people cannot make them. So you face those economic challenges. You face even the skill sets because there is a skill to understanding how the whole politic works. And you have to have been in the system, gain some experience too. So what I'm saying is young people are going to face this myriad of problems. And when something is quite, I don't want to just say precious, it's quite, it's something that is well sought after. The barrier to entry is very high, intentionally. If the barrier to entry is low, everybody can come in. So you increase the barrier so that you limit the ability of those coming. And it's not just young people, it's even women too. So the status quo, those that run the system intentionally keep the barrier high. But like I was once asked by a young person at the forum, I said, look, you guys are always saying young people should come into politics, but then you guys lock the door. Then I said, break the window. Because if they lock the door, you go through the window. Look, these are things that it's a tussle, and we must first of all understand that in our mind, because if you go to war, and I use war loosely, with not understanding you are going to war, you will be eating at the first. You must understand that there is a contention that is in politics, even within the parties. And I always say the party system tells you whether you'll be able to succeed outside the party. The chaotic status in many parties shows you probably what office can look like. So the ability to navigate through that is important. Now let's try and think out with those things. So culture again is a set of values that became culture over a period of time. The only way to change those values is to insert new that culture is to insert new values. And new values means new knowledge, new thinking, new ideas. And we have everything to let us know that even the data tells us young people need to lead. Not just because we are the majority, because another 20, 30 years, we will still be alive. Many people that are running things will not. So the decisions being made for our future must be in our hands. So even the data tells us that. So once you start informing yourself about all of this, the way you approach politics and governance is no more, please let me sit at the table. It changes to, I need to be at the table. I've watched documentaries of Dubai, and they're planning for 2125. 2100, and that's 100 years from now. And I'm like, the people planning are not even going to be here. I bet they know they are not going to live to that long, but they are planning. But from the cultural point of view is that we need to insert those new values. Those new values will help you see things from a different point of view. And then your approach is no more, please let me sit at the table. Your approach now becomes, we have to sit at the table. We have to be at this table. We have to play a part here. And there's a difference between the person that is saying, please let me sit, and the person that is saying, I have to be at the table. the thinking is already different, so the approach, everything will be different.
Wow.
Right from the beginning.
Wow.
So that's where knowledge comes to help you create new culture. Then the empowerment part, yes, it's going to be expensive, because the system has also made it so. But we also know that money is not the only resource we have. We have resource of networks, we have resource of time, we have resource of skill sets. So if I were to want to do things, and we've seen young people during NSAS, during the Kenya protest, they were raising money. They were using crypto, bitcoins. They were using new systems. They were outsmarting the traditional systems. Do you understand? So what I'm saying in essence is that young people must now have communities whereby you have those that are very good, maybe in fintechs and whatnot, saying, look, we're going to support you guys, because we understand that when you get into office, you can create policies that will help our own type of thinking. So you need that sort of community to also help for economic empowerment. I also say, and not like I said earlier, I'm not saying I want to be governor at 25. I think those are just, it's almost, yes, but can you be state assembly? Of course you can. Can you be, because even the financial limits INEC has set is different for all of those categories. So can we focus on where the impact is and really go into those systems? Local government, state assembly, senate, reps, before you start saying that it's governor next, I even see that most people that have become governors have become senators first, or have played some senior roles first before they become, because the gates to enter that place needs a level of influence, needs a level of network. So can we focus on the ones we can easily attain and get them? So economic is key. You must partner, you must leverage, you must use communities, and young people support causes. So we can say causes, we can use diaspora. Diaspora can help us. They spend a lot of money, they bring in a lot of money. It's part of development, we have to just think outside the normal. So culture, economics, I think I mentioned one other one earlier on when I was speaking. Social norms, all of those things you will fight. But a young person that is determined will do that. Then I was talking about mentoring. That's where I was going to. So mentoring is extremely important. So if I get into any system, the system has its rules, it has its culture, it has its way of doing things. Again, if I don't learn, or I'm not open to learning, not necessarily becoming like the people, but learning enough to understand the formulas of operation, then I can go in and then now start tinkering with the process. Trying to change anything from outside is always difficult. But when you get in and you're part of the system, you can now start to tinker with the system because you are already part of the system. So you need good mentors. And sometimes we would say leaders should initiate the mentoring relationship, which is ideal. But sometimes you have to find your mentors and you have to go after them and you have to chase them and you have to build relationships and you have to sit with them and help them to guide you, while also you add value to their lives, of course. But help them to guide you and say, no, if you do that, you make a mistake. This has happened before. You don't want to do that. You have to be careful about this and you have to manage that. I won my elections in 2019. It was the first election I ran, but it was not the first election I participated in.
Wow.
In 2015, I had been part of my boss's election where he became the first governor to do 2 terms. And so I had been mentored on the art of electioneering.
Wow.
I saw how he did his speeches. I saw his relationship with the media, with security agents, with, across. And so when it came to my turn, I was just, if you like, role-playing what I had seen, customizing it to my need. And so when I spoke to some of my colleagues, I said, oh, did you do this? They said, no. Did you do this? They said, no. I thought, but why didn't you? And they said, but we didn't know we had to.
Wow.
And so at that point, it dawned on me that you actually know because you have been through it. You have been mentored. I thought it was common knowledge, but it wasn't common knowledge. It was knowledge I gained from being from experience, from being mentored. And that's the power of mentoring. So young people, to break these ceilings or these norms and these traditions and these barriers as they were, you need mentors. And I say same for women. women, young woman wants to go into politics, you might need to sit with an older woman that has been there, done that, and she can guide you. We've had women supporting women, we've had women against women. Why do women support women? What are the ways to do it, to get the buying of women? So that you can have a critical mass supporting your ambition. These are things that you might just think, I'm a woman, every woman must support me. No, not every woman. Just like me, say I'm a young person, every young person must. Youth is not an ideology. Gender is not an ideology. You understand? So you must be able to get mentoring, learning, so that you can break through those things. I think is important, and until we start to have that same mindset that, look, we're going to take possession, we're going to make this difference, we may just be going around for many years with a policy and a law that says you can run but not getting into office. Because yes, the policy has broken certain barriers, but it's still not enough, and you need to now find all these other ways, learnings, attend the African Governance Institute for courses, go through mentoring, go through different mindset shifts and skill sets gaining. Then you are ready to get into office and kick ass.
Thank you so much.